Hello, everyone. So, in this week's video blog, we're to discuss digital identity. So, one of the questions is how is your digital identity different from your real world self? In some aspects, in digital identity, I could easily uh, be able to be myself in some aspects, and in some aspects, I could also uh, be able to voice my opinion when sometimes my opinion in public is not heard in real world as my real world self. Um, and other in the way it is to be the same is I could also be able to kind of show uh, how I live, what I'm like and stuff like that. A lot of people like when I use my Facebook account, a lot of people actually watch my kids grow up, watch, you know, my wife and I's, marriage evolve and everything. So, with that in mind, the next question is how does technology enable you to more fully express a specific dimension of your identity? Technology can enable me to be able to express my feelings more in some aspects without having to uh, without having to have to just wait for somebody to ask me. I can write out something like as a blog or a post on Facebook. I could say, today this is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on in my life. So it enables me to fully express my identity. Um, the third question is how does technology govern, uh, influence, or shape your identity? Well, in some aspects, Facebook can be addicting, and especially if somebody, if you end up posting a whole bunch of memes or whatever, um, it's a new way of communication among people, to where I can communicate with people, as being a former military policeman, and all that. I could talk to people all over the country that I've served with or across the world um, when they're able to use Facebook. So in a way, it uh, governs the way I communicate. Another example is like I don't have a landline phone, so I use my cell phone, and a lot of times my phone doesn't have service in some areas. So using like Facebook Messenger, where I can call somebody on my phone from Facebook Messenger, as long as they have Messenger, I we could talk on the phone without having to, you know, worry about service as much. Um, and it has influenced the way I think about a lot of things with technology. I try to limit myself with technology itself because I like to be able to do do things where I'm not just glued to my phone or glued to Facebook. Um, the fourth question is how is your digital identity a product of the social and technological context in which you live? Um, it is a way for me, you know, to answer this one. It is a product of the way I communicate to a lot of people, especially since I live in the middle of nowhere. It is hard to, have communications with other people and stuff like that. So the best way to do it and show how people I live and what I do and whatnot is Facebook. Um, so it kind of does mold the way I live. The fifth question is how is your online identity like a performance? In some aspects, my online identity is a way for uh, people to understand what I'm feeling that day. Actors have a performance, performance sad, happy, mad, whatever. With Facebook, they have like little things where you can click on it, like when you're posting something, you can post how you feel. And so, like, I could say I'm feeling proud, or I'm feeling mad, or upset, or whatever. So, in a way, it is kind of like a performance of that, to where I'm performing my feelings. The sixth question is, how is your behavior different when you know it is public? In some aspects, I do hold back on Facebook on a lot of my feelings because, I mean, I got family on there. I got, you know, I'm Catholic, so I have priests that are on there, and I have all kinds of different people. So I have to watch, the language that's used, that, sometimes there's memes that have swear words or the way I post things on there, so in a way, I kind of hold back because, I mean, I do have a wide variety of language, and sometimes profanity is used. So I try to hold back on that. So in a way, it I kind of that's kind of like where I just don't post everything like that. As well as I don't also believe in airing out dirty laundry. So that also helps with that factor. So I'm not discussing. I'm not creating what is called Facebook drama. You know, so in a way, that does kind of change my behavior of letting everybody know when it's public. And the seventh question is how does your digital identity affect your sense of who you are as a person? Well, just because I use digital stuff, technology stuff like Facebook. I'm not really into Twitter or Instagram or other different things. So using Facebook uh, is really actually the only thing I do, and that's more or less, it doesn't, I could always put down Facebook, deactivate it, whatever. So it doesn't really define who I am, but it does help communicate who I am. So it- like in our recent presidential election, uh, President-elect Trump has used technology as a way of communication among millions of people. That's the same sense in what I do, but on a smaller level of people using like Facebook as a way to communicate. That's really all I use it for. I don't use it as much as a way of life.